Hey everyone, today we're looking at Papers, Please. Writing this review is difficult because this isn't like most other games I've played. I have to look at it more like a poem than a game, if that makes any sense. I put a lot of thinking and time to this and hope that I make my thoughts clear. Alright, let's get going. Papers, Please is an interesting game, if you can call it that. When your buddy tells you about a game, you usually expect excitement, flashy graphics, addicting gameplay, or interesting mechanics. Papers, Please has none of these things, but it's still a great game, if I can call it that, again. It's not really fun like you think of other games, but it's not supposed to be fun. It's the kind of game that is built to be interesting. I think of it in the same light as Arthur Miller's The Crucible, but of the game world. It's entertaining, yes, but mostly exists to say something about society. While The Crucible compares the Salem witch trials to the Red Scare, Papers, Please looks at the similarities between its take on the Berlin Wall and post 9/11 airport security, or at least that's how I interpret it. The similarities it often brings up are frightening. The game has you playing out the day-to-day life of a citizen of the impoverished country Arstotzka. You just got a job as the inspector at the border that's just opened. I've never worked at the DMV, but I imagine it's something like this game. The government starts out pretty open. All people need is a valid passport to get in. You check pictures, expiration dates, and stuff like that before deciding to accept or deny their entry. It's pretty mundane. You're literally a paper pusher. The game's value comes from when it forces you to look beyond your little hut and realize what you're doing actually has an effect on the world around you and the vital role that you play. Within your first few days of work, you let a guy through the checkpoint because his passport checks out. As you're working through the documents for the next person in line, in the corner of your eye you see he walks up behind the guards and shouts, "For Kolechia," and blows up everyone in the area. From that day forward, your job goes from bad to worse and reasonable to disturbing. The security tightens and your job becomes a lot harder. After that attack, Kolechians are not allowed in the country for a few days and everyone is required an entry pass. Then another terrorist comes and workers need a work pass. Then another terrorist attack. And then we need ID cards with information like weight, their fingerprints, and something that can describe them, like bald, afro, or overweight. It's made worse by required body scans of suspicious individuals who might have their weight or height slightly off. This invasion of privacy shocked me more than the terrorist attacks, to be honest. It led me to ask questions about whether or not ends justify means. I would catch individuals smuggling guns and grenades from time to time, but most of the time it was innocent people that had their weight recorded incorrectly. Is an invasion of privacy on such a grand scale worth it? Does privacy trump security? These are questions that this game encourages you to ask. Another interesting aspect of the game is that the designers gave a few characters more personality. Most people have a few scripted responses and you don't really care if they are accepted through the border or not. But there are a few that try to appeal to you for help. One of the first ones you come across is a married couple. The man seems the same as everyone else and all his information checks out. After letting him through, he breaks his stoic character and asks you to be kind to his wife, who is right after him in line. His wife is missing much of her vital documents. She asks if her husband made it through and begs you to let her through. Just letting her through is not that simple. You have your own head to watch out for. As I said earlier, your country is impoverished and your family is not the exception. In my first playthrough of the game, I was not able to pay for heat and food, and most of my family ended up dying of disease. It ended up being just me and my wife. You need all the money you can from this job, and the only way to make money is by properly processing people. You do have 2 strikes a day without getting fined, but you don't get paid when you get a strike, so you're still losing valuable time and money. One of my favorite characters is Jorge, or Georgie. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. He is desperate to get to the country to start his shady business. What makes him so cool is that he is so matter-of-fact about things. He eventually gets a forgery that you can't find anything wrong with, and you end up becoming good friends. And you can help each other out a bunch. My favorite is his pathetic attempt at a passport. It looks like a 5-year-old's crayon drawing. I feel like I'm already talking too much, so I'm going to try and wrap this up. Papers, Please deserves any praise that comes its way. It tells a story and teaches a lesson without relying on text or cutscenes to shove the point down your throat like a lot of games do. The world and the mechanics tell the story, that's the key. The game designer trusts the player to think about the game as more than just pushing paper. And that's something I'd like to see more of. Games can have meaning beyond entertainment. It has potential to be one of the most impactful mediums. I hope that developers learn from games like these. That they can trust gamers to analyze their games more, so less games rely on text and cutscenes. Alright everybody, one last thing before I go. Just put up on the screen a list of my Steam games that I have currently. If you'd like to have me review any of those, let me know. And also if you have requests for games that I don't have, let me know in the comments below. And I'd totally love to take some requests for games you'd suggest that I play and look at and review. Also, I'm going to be giving some links here for my Heroes of the Storm videos as well as my other reviews, and a link to subscribe to my channel. So please, if you enjoy these videos, go ahead and subscribe, and I come out with these every week. Thanks so much. See you guys later.